Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping items to mention before we get started with today's webinar. All attendees are on mute for the duration of the webinar. If you would like to ask a question, please use the question section on your GoToWebinar dashboard. All questions will be held until the end of the presentation when we will open for Q&A. This presentation will be made available by contacting our presenter directly. Her information will be displayed on the screen at the end of the presentation. I'd like to now introduce our presenter today, Barbara Crowhurst, CEO of Retail Makeover, one of North America's leading retail business coaches. Barbara is also a writer, international speaker, renowned store designer, sales trainer, and director of Retail Makeover website design services. Her comprehensive and detailed approach to retail comes from years of working in the retail industry. Her career has taken her from working with some of the largest corporate retailers in North America to consulting with thousands of independent retail specialty stores. If you are a retailer who is facing real problems and wants to increase store sales and profitability, Barbara guarantees her advice and direction. Without further delay, let's begin. Barbara?
Thank you, Lainey. Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for joining me today and taking time out to work on your business. I'll be your business coach for the next hour or so. And I promise you, when you work with a retail business coach, there is always homework, and there will be a lot of it, a lot of it. The topic that we're looking at in this webinar is boosting seasonal sales. We're up against the last quarter of this year, and we're hoping for the numbers that we need to really finish the year successfully. And I'm going to share with you so many different ideas that you can pick and choose from, because I can't imagine that you could do everything that I'm going to suggest, because it's just too overwhelming. What I'm hoping is that you're going to especially identify the areas that you can work on and just incorporate it into what you're already doing. And I promise you, even doing that, you will see a difference in your business. Let us look at the customer at Christmas specifically. The customer is different. During other parts of the year, the customer is usually the end user of your products or services that you sell. But during the last quarter, they are the gift giver. So something new for you to think about if you've never thought about it this way. You must merchandise your store. You must sell and promote to this customer differently. We continue to talk about the Christmas customer, but now I'd like you to stop and think for one moment about your staff. The staff must be trained to ask this customer, and here's what they need to be asking: who's on your shopping list today? The staff may feel uncomfortable doing this. They may think that is too pushy. Trust me, I am doing so much sales training lately, and I can see what happens. Staff starts to cringe when I ask them to ask this question. But understand it from a customer's point of view. A customer is being helped. Staff have to get that. I want you to train and role play this approach. For those of you who are not in the mode of role playing with your staff, you're going to write me at Retail Makeover, and I will send you the article that I've written on role playing in retail and what an impact it has on training. Okay? The customer does not have time to run around to other places. Why would you send them to other places? Why shouldn't we be the store that saves them the time, that is able to help them with many names that are on their shopping list? What ends up happening when you include this strategy into your sales training, and your staff then is trained to approach customers this way, with this mindset, you will see sales going up and the customer's happiness level going up as well, because they will feel like you care about them. Let's look at your Christmas staff for a moment. For those of you who have not really focused in on the appropriate training and taught your staff to be engaging, what's so wonderful is that the podcast that I'm going to send you after this, if I hear from you, if I know who you are and I get your email, I will send you this podcast on teaching your staff to be engaging. Very important. Your staff have to be friendly. For those of you who are hiring right now or who've just brought in new people into your store, or you might be just thinking about the people that work for you now, I hope you hired friendly people. I hope you have extraordinarily friendly people working for you with great attitudes, because that is extremely helpful. Because the reality of the people connection in retail is that we, as the retailer, and the staff working for you, the retailer, have to be friendly. We have to be personable. You can't really train that. That has to come with the individual. So for those of you go, oh my gosh, aren't I glad that I have that? I am very happy for you, because the customer has to feel welcome and they have to feel at home in your store. Have you ever thought of it that way? And on this point, you have to keep training and role-playing the behavior you want your staff to exhibit. I'm going to ask you one question, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever asked your staff this? It's a really important point. Are you excited when a customer comes into our store? Excited to see them? Or be honest with me, or do you see them as an interruption to your day? Or an inconvenience to what you're doing, or the social time that you're spending between each other here working for me? You have to ask that question. Be bold, get the answer, and start to train through it. Because I promise you, this is an important thing for you, and this means, again, money at the cash register. I'm going to be very blunt here because I'm sort of done with how staff normally behaves in a store. If you are that special retailer where your staff is not behaving this, I want you to realize how special you are. Your staff must stop huddling. Please, I see it really clearly. Little to no personal conversation should be going on the sales floor. It shouldn't be happening, because too much personal exchange does something terrible. It steals valuable time from your business. I promise with this direct approach, your store will run better. And of course, there'll be less drama. And the focus will be on the customer. I get asked this all the time. Well, if we're not sort of supposed to be talking about and having personal conversations, what else are we supposed to be talking about when customers don't come in? How about giving them something to think about, your staff something to think about every day, as it has to improve their service level, how they are with clients. You're going to be teaching them about engaging clients when I send you the podcast. They should be talking about that. So the whole idea of role-playing should be happening when they are not directly in contact with customers, not their own personal drama. You know how I feel about that. Now, if I'm working for you, when I come into the store in the morning, I should know what your power hours are going to be, because you've posted them. You've told me where they are. You might want to repeat it again near the cash, because what I find sometimes is that staff will power into the area where they're going to, leave their coats, possibly their cell phones, their bags, and then they go to the cash, the sort of hub of the store. So you may want to tell me, if I'm part of your staff today, Barbara, we expect most of our clients, our customers, to come into the store during these periods of time: morning, mid-morning, afternoon, mid-afternoon, just before closing. These are important time frames within your day as a retailer. I call them power hours, and your staff should start to recognize them as well. They are when we feel, right, you feel that most of the clients will come in today because you've done this before, you get a sense of traffic flow. And at this time, you must train during those power hours that the focus must be on the customer, okay? Unless or a lower focus on operational things. So that's a directive to me working for you today on my behavior. This just doesn't happen one day of 7. This happens every single day. So far, the only thing that I've treated differently and information that I've shared with you is that the customer is less an end user as we go through the Christmas season and more a gift giver, but everything else, adopt it, make it your own, and if you are, I applaud you. I'm going to touch on signage right now because I see it as a very important element when it comes to what makes a difference, what can boost sales. And a lot of you are not good at signing your store. You know, again, we've got signage outside that says who you are. There should be signage on the window, vinyl lettering, I love it. There should be signage, then if that's not going to be you, there should be signage inside the window explaining what's going on. Signage gives information on messaging, so what you're promoting, what's new, you know, why it's a good idea that the consumer is in your store, and it also talks about pricing. There are so many fabulous, you know, signage options now. You know, my favorite one is the chalkboard. Just in the last several weeks, I've been out and about right across Canada and into the US, and I've been setting up a lot of stores for Christmas and working with my clients. And we are using chalkboards, and we're having a lot of fun because it looks really cool as well. Signage can give direction to departments and bestsellers. It can help browsing customers turn into shoppers, and that's the point there, okay? And we cannot underestimate that this also gives information when staff is busy. And here's an interesting thing, again, you know, bringing it back to Christmas. Signage can suggest this kind of sentiment. Your wife called, she loved this product. Or another sign, Santa shops here. Another sign, we have something for everyone on your shopping list. Another sign could be gifts under 10, gifts under 20, gifts under 10,000. You can just have fun with it, right? In the store that I just installed the last few days, actually it was last week, I've lost track of the days, was all about the countdown to Christmas. And so every single day, those signs will be changed with the urgency of shopping more and more as the days grow closer to Christmas. So look at some more ideas to make you money. Okay, this is interesting. When was the last time you ever thought to call customers you know who would love something that just came in? Ah, okay, well that's a good idea. You're right, we can do this. This is an easy fix. This is an easy to do. And if it's just too big a task, you can divide it amongst your staff. You know, what I'm hoping already, that there is staff that work for you that have become personalities, or, you know, have a personal relationship with customers and can call their people and go, you know what? We've got something here for you. Today, I had, you know, because trust me, I shop in a lot of stores across North America. Today, I had a text from a fashion store that I shop in, and they said to me, Barbara, this came in. We know that you'd love it. And you know what ended up happening with that? I ended up buying that piece. I called them, I gave them my credit card, and they're shipping it to me. option would have been for me to go into the store because I also frequent that store, but I chose that one as something convenient for me right now in my schedule. I'm going to ask you to look at other ways that you can increase sales by posting extra images and information on each of your website, your Facebook posts, and your Instagram posts. And basically your call to action is, if you like this, you will also love and give people suggestions. And then again, invite them. The call to action is call us. We can hold it for you. Or call us, you know, we can reserve this item for you. And then when they call, you ask for, beyond holding it, you ask for payment so that it is secure and there's a connection, and then there's a confirmation of whether they're going to come and pick it up, or that you may have to ship it to them, or you may have to deliver it to them, and you go, oh my gosh, well, I've never done that. Well, you know what, here's the thing, we need to think outside the box. You need to do things differently. So perhaps maybe these are some ideas here for you. Another idea for you to make sales go up is cross-merchandising main products with add-ons. We touched on it quite extensively last week, but here it is. When you're showcasing a main product in a feature display, make sure you add products in and around it to suggest other purchases. And guess who else gets helped when you do something like that? Your staff, because they can see main things that you sell, but they are reminded of all of the add-ons that will go with that product. I'd like to get into some numbers with you because this is worth its weight in gold. The whole idea of Christmas daily sales information. Now, you see on the bottom of this slide, I said this must be shared with your staff daily. If there's a pushback in you that says, I do not share my numbers with my staff, you have to start to think outside that box that you've created for yourself. I'm not asking you to share your entire year's profit and loss statement with your staff. I'm asking you to focus in on the day. If you feel your staff is just not mature enough and cannot handle this information in a confidential way, I worry that those people work for you. So those are all the things that I think about when I share this idea with you. So we already know, based on the sales targets that we have set for, let's say, the whole year, and now more importantly for the last quarter, that eventually, if I was to ask you what is your sales target for the day, you will have thought it through and go, you know, for the month of November it's this, for the month of December it's that, and then eventually for this week that's what our goal has to be, and eventually you will do the math and you will get as close as you can. It's not exact, but as close as you can to what the daily sales goal needs to be. What I'm hoping that when you figure out these numbers, that you have also added an increase for your sales targets right now ahead of us over last year. There should be an increase. I'm going to work with a 20% increase with you, so please put that down on a blank piece of paper, okay? So I come into work, I know when the power hours are going to be, and you're going to say, you know, Barb, you're part of our team today. Our daily sales goal, what we have to achieve together as a team, I'm going to make it really, really easy, is $1,000, okay? This is just so it's easy for us to do the math. You've got the 20% already there. You've got the $1,000. The $1,000 actually doesn't quite represent the increase that 20% does, okay? Now, I'm hoping that you are calculating your daily average sale. You have to do that. Now, I get asked, well, what do you mean? And I go, it has to be done every single day. I should be able to call you and go, hello, what was your daily average yesterday? What was it on the weekend as an average? What was it on an average last week? last month. Do you understand? You have to have these calculations done. My observation, ladies and gentlemen, and I've now been a retail business coach for over 25 years, is that we're very reluctant to embrace analytics. We're very reluctant to embrace math in our business. I don't understand why. It's very important that we do. So how do we calculate daily sales averages? What we do is at the end of each day, we add up at the till all the sales that came in, and we divide it by the number of transactions that happened in the day. All right? So in this model, our daily average sale is tracking at, I'm going to make it really easy, at $100. So the next question I'm going to ask, if our average sale is 100 and our sales target for the day is 1,000, how many sales do we have to close that day? Are you ready? Really easy. 10. You're going to do your own math. You have to do that. After we finish here today, you're going to start to think that way if you don't, and you're going to calculate that out. So we have to close, as a team working for you, 10 sales on average of $100, because that is what our client is telling us that they're creating this number, right? And then you turn and say, oh my gosh, well, I've got 2 people working for me today. How many sales do each of them have to close? So 2 into 10 goes 5. Gives a very clear picture of what each of us, 2 of us, have to do for you today. All right? But wait a second. There's more information. All right? We don't know what our conversion rate is. And if you do, my goodness gracious, you've got to know that you are so far ahead in retail by knowing that. And how do we figure out conversion rates? Okay. We start counting traffic. Now you're going to say, Barbara, are you kidding me? I don't have a traffic counter. Well, that's just not the answer. That's even not the comment. We're going to start every day. We are going to at least track during some of our busy times, our slower times, how many people come in the door. And yes, a family of 4 counts as 1 person unless they make 2 separate purchases, all right? A couple coming in is 1. Girlfriends coming in, let's hope it's 2, because usually girlfriends shop and both of them have, opportunity to shop, okay? Count traffic. Keep those records. Because what I am hoping you're going to get to eventually is that you're counting traffic the best you can every single day. And then let's just say 100 people come into your store and you were able to close 50 sales. That's 50 sales that were rung through the cash register. What does that mean? That means you had a 50% conversion rate. It's okay, but it's not fabulous. You want consistently conversion rates that are in the 70s and 80s. That's where you want to go. Let's go back to our numbers. We've got the goal of 1,000. Our average is 100. We've got to close 10 sales. We've got 2 salespeople. They're going to each close 5, but we don't know what their conversion rate is. We don't know what the store's conversion rate. And if I just say, you know what, I'm going to give you 50%, that means that each of us working for you today have to approach 10 customers. Because if we have to sell to 5, we have to give ourselves the opportunity of this 50% conversion. So here we go. The numbers are so helpful. They're so helpful. I'm going to give you one more piece of just dynamite information. Remember that 20%? Well, how do you increase your business, ladies and gentlemen? There's no other way. One client at a time, one interaction at a time. I'm so passionate about this for you. So if we're looking for a 20% increase, You must train. You must make your staff aware. Go back to the $100 average sale. What's 20% of 100? $20. You do your own math. This is just example. So me included, I'm working for you today. You have to train me that when I'm selling a main object in the store, a main product, that the staff is starting to see build to that $100 and more. I mean, they don't stop there. That they show another $20 item. That will at least guarantee that customers are being shown that product, shown that price point, and your sales will go up 20%. Why wouldn't you want that? Promise me that you will instigate this into your workings later on today, and it never goes away. This is how you will look at things moving forward. All right? So as we look at daily sales, you have to share with your staff what's selling, what's not. You also have to share what the key promotions are. I walk into so many stores that I coach, and staff don't know what's going on. I don't know why. Information is so important. Communication is so important. Knowing what products have just come in, so important. And while you're busy doing something else, realize that one of your main jobs every day is to make sure your staff, the people that work for you, have the tools they need to do the job right for you. All right? So you become coach and trainer. On the store's daily to-do list, staff should be encouraged to take several daily walks through the store, watch for slow inventory, replenish displays often, because the reality here is we know we can't sell what customers can't see. Boy, this is huge. I'm sure you've never been told this, but this will blow you away. Staff should not only sell what they like, but they do. Because in reality, they cannot like what you purchase, and it's subliminal because they don't tell you. So you're going to circumvent that. If, again, as I say, staff should be asked why they boycott your product. If they're not, forthcoming to tell you, you're going to ask them point blank, please don't sell only what you like. Like a little more of my product, because here's the statistic. Research shows that 80% of your staff sales come from 20% of the product you carry. That is indisputable. You have to train outside of the reality of this. Staff don't like the product. They don't like the color of it. They don't like the price point. It's not their taste. They don't understand why you keep buying this. Did I tell you they don't like the product? It's that important to get at the bottom of this. And the thing is, because there's so many things that you need to either agree that you are doing differently or do differently to make those sales go up, okay? Now, this is a very interesting point. The whole focus on the emotional stuff as it has to do with selling. There's such simple rules. The more emotionally attached a gift giver is to the recipient, the more they are willing to spend. Aha. So staff must be trained, must be aware, and learn to ask the important question, getting at the relationship of the gift giver to the receiver, okay? This is huge because, again, research shows there's so many wonderful nuggets of research that are done in retail, and this one has to do with gift giving, that if you're not so attached to the individual you're buying the gift, you'll spend $10, $20, $50, all right? This is an average person. But guess what happens if you're attached to the person? The sky's the limit. 100, 200, 300, and more, because the gift giver, their emotion is attached to the amount of money that they are going to spend on the individual they're buying the gift for. All right? You're going to love this. It works a charm, but your staff and yourself cannot be at all anxious about asking about who the person who's shopping, who they're buying for. And just asking another question. Who is this person in your life? What's the gift for? All right? This is another really cool idea. This whole idea of pick of the week and how this can increase sales for you. It helps increase sales of the cash. That's what you have to do here. You're picking a product, change it often. As a matter of fact, I'm going to challenge you. You know that 20% that you want to increase your sales? Why don't you put the pick of the week after you've selected a product that represents 20% of your average sale? And if you don't have anything like that, then pick something else, because I promise you this is going to work. All right, so you're going to train your staff to talk about the item you've picked. And by train, I mean you may have to give them a script. And by giving them a script, I mean you may have to do some role playing with them. You want to see how they are with the information and maybe the task that they're doing in and around the cash as they're cashing the client out. Now we got to look at a sign. For other times of the year, your pick of the week could be you, the owner's pick of the week. It could be the staff's pick of the week. It could be your customer's trend pick of the week. But in this case, why don't we go Santa's pick of the week? Or Santa's wife's pick of the week? Or Santa's helper's pick of the week? So back to what you have to, so we've got the sign, we've got the product picked. You can, a great idea to pick it against your increase in sales. And so the product is in and around the cash. It's very convenient. And now you have to give your staff 1 to 3 features and benefit statements about the product, because if the staff don't have anything to say about the product and features and benefits, we've got nothing, okay? And features and benefits sell the product. You know how I feel about role playing? It's now part of your tools. And this is an important ask. It's not a big ask, it's an important ask. You're going to ask the staff to be enthusiastically sharing with each customer as they check out the pick of the week. This is a good idea. Add it to the other good ideas I've shared so far and make it happen in your store. It can happen as early as this afternoon. There's another way to look at pricing as it has to do with boosting sales. This can happen anytime. You're starting to understand that I'm bringing you ideas that are also way outside the exact time of this Christmas time. It can be used anytime. It's now a part of the way you must think about your business. Add a few extra dollars to a product when it makes sense from a perceived point of view. All right, it's important. So you look at the item and then you do your regular markup, which should be 2.2 to 2.7. But then you're thinking that, you know, look at this. This is amazing. We can get a few extra dollars. We don't have to compete in the marketplace because we're the only ones that carry it in our marketplace. We can add a few extra dollars to this. Those extra dollars, ladies and gentlemen, go right to the bottom line, okay? And that's a good thing for you. Just recently, I did a huge project in New York City for a client. They had 10,000 SKUs. It worked out that we could put $1 to $2 extra on each item. And guess what happens? Think about it. $1 to $2 on each item. So the strategy there is that right at the bottom line of his profits is $10,000 to $20,000 more than he'd initially projected. He was very excited, and it did work. It does continue to work. I want you to think about reducing prices on items you have a lot of. I don't want you to get stuck with product at the end of the season. And for goodness sakes, I really don't want you to pack things up, put them in boxes, and then save them for another year. Because, listen to me on this, you're packing up money. Why would you want to do that? You either, if you have a lot of product left at the end of a season, what's happening? You either overbought or you bought the wrong thing, or you train your staff, or you didn't merchandise, or you didn't promote it correctly. There's so many variables, okay? So reduce pricing along the way. And all of you are now, this is not anything new I'm sharing with you. Many retailers are launching the Christmas season with immediate price offs. It's their strategy to gain attention from consumers. So if you find yourself in that kind of marketplace where you don't have a lot of exclusivity, where your shoppers are, really the frugal shopper looking for deals, you have to do that as well. You have no choice. On pricing strategy, make sure customers see the prices. Such a simple thing, and I see it over and over again, where product is brought onto the floor through, unaware staff, careless management of inventory without pricing. It is the wrong thing to do. Everything must be priced. Okay, we start to build our library of what we have to do, things we have to do to boost sales. Guess what has to happen? Beef up the PK sessions with staff. You know what I find when I do sales training? One of the biggest resistance to talking to customers is that the staff has nothing to say about the product, because and they shy away from product that they know nothing about. So again, we go back to the stats, 80% of what your staff sells is only 20% of your product. This has a direct link to what they show. If they can't talk about it, 3 features and benefits, they don't talk about it. So your job is to make this information available to your staff, all right? And here we have it again. Please tell your staff to stop ignoring products that they don't like or they don't know too much about. And tell them that the sales are in their hands. I love this idea, ladies and gentlemen. You need to bonus sales. In the last several years, I always waffled because I always got this big pushback about I don't create this aggressive, environment in my store. But this isn't what I'm talking about. For those of you who are finally hearing me about bonusing sales, bonusing performance, I promise you, and I say this, bribery works. So bonus staff if the store reaches either the days, weeks, or months sales target. For those of you who are looking, I wrote a little piece about what this particular bonus structure looks like. It'd be my pleasure to send it to you so you can implement it immediately. Trust me, this is not an aggressive stance on bonusing. It is on performance, and everybody shares with it based on the hours they work. And the amount per hour we have decided to bonus them. How would you like to be the retailer in the West Coast that in the last 3 consecutive months that I've been coaching them, their sales have gone up? Are you ready for this? First 25%, then it went to 30%, and now it's increased a whopping 45%. Of course, they've implemented all the things that I coach, but this became the cornerstone because I needed, after sales training, I needed to have a buy-in from the staff. This clinched it. This was the big motivator. Wow, I take a deep breath here. We need well-trained employees. Okay, so you're thinking, Barbara, I have this business idea. I have to be the buyer. I have to be the merchandiser. I have to, be the hirer. I have to be the cleaner. I have to be the trainer. I have to be the coach. The answer is yes. Never mind the social media marketing guru, etc. This is a complex arena that we're working in. But once this is set, where you have well-trained employees with great attitudes, and you're hiring great attitudes, you're hiring at least someone, for goodness sakes, that's been in retail. Someone who has people skills. You do not have enough time, energy, or money to teach people skills. Hire them. Hire those skills. People with common sense who can communicate. People who are motivated to get up every morning and to live their life to the fullest. People who may or may not have some product knowledge already, but are willing to learn and can pick it up easily. Staff that is promotable, and no matter where, no matter what they do for you, they show leadership in their own area. You see how enthusiastic I am about this, because this is who we want our staff to be. If you've got this, congratulate yourself. Congratulate yourself. I'm going to touch a little bit about keeping great staff. Make sure your staff can rise to the challenge. Make your staff accountable. Make work fun. Retail's tough. It's hard on the body every day. Make sure they're eating well. I mean, those are simple things of taking care of themselves, and then they'll work there'll be more energy for them each day. Treat your staff the way you'd want to be treated. And the whole thing is make sure they understand the importance of being consumer focused. Go back to my original question. So, ladies and gentlemen that work for me, how do you feel when you see a customer come into the store? Are you excited to see them? Do you see them as an inconvenience? Do you see them as a bother, an interruption to your day? Okay? And understand that your rules and expectations have to make sense. Okay, so for those of you who are looking for setting rules and guidelines, you know how to get a hold of me at Retail Makeover. And now we're looking at keeping great staff, because that's another whole issue that is happening absolutely chronically. You have to be a better manager. If you want to learn about that, you're going to send me, Barb, I need to know about this because I can see things are slipping away from me. I will send you an article that I wrote for In-Store Magazine on being a great manager. You need to share the goals for the store, otherwise they won't happen. You need to establish guidelines and boundaries. If you don't have manuals like that, I will send you on what you need to do. Write me. You need to support initiative and creativity. You need to have job descriptions with work lists. You don't have that? Let me explain to you. I'll send you a document and show you how you need to do that. And you need to meet with your staff regularly. Let's switch it over now for the next portion of time that we have. These are key touch points, opportunities to impress and stay in touch with existing customers and increase foot traffic, as it has to do with boosting sales. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no other list. This is it, the best customer touch points. What is a touch point? It means when a customer hears from you, when you tell them what's going on in the store, when you tell them why it's a good idea for them to contact you or to come into the store, okay? Email marketing is the #1 tool. Just let me stop and think here. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this list because I have it in a fuller slide right after. So we have email marketing, #1 tool, just isn't a better one. Your website and mobile device. Your bricks and mortar location, another touch point. Another touch point is your staff. Another one is social media marketing, whether you're using Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest. Another customer touch point is traditional marketing. Now, I just have to stop there because there I want to tell you, when I work with retailers that I'm a coach to, I do not throw away traditional marketing, but it has to show itself to me that it's working. So whether it's radio or newspaper or maybe glossy magazine or perhaps maybe on television, so these are more traditional, from the past kind of ways we used to market. But how do we know they're working? I know they cost a lot of money, and as far as I'm concerned, trust me, I'm pretty prejudiced about this. It's like throwing money in the toilet. Because here's the thing. If new customers coming into the store, perhaps maybe it's customers you haven't seen for a while, come in and you're not asking, how is it that we have the pleasure of you being in our store today? How do we know what's brought them in? Have they walked by the store, the front display caught their eye? Did they see something, hear something that influenced them to come in? You need to know this. You need to do your own research. Get it? That's homework for you. That's not just for today, but forever. You want to know what works. So if you're going to tell me, as your coach, this traditional marketing works, Barbara. A client in Vancouver did a whole wonderful series of radio ads, and it was targeted right at their demographics, and we can see that it's working because the staff is now trained to ask, how is it we have the pleasure of you being in our store today? And that's a strategy for you to find out what's going on. Video marketing is another emerging marketing style. I should be able to come onto your Facebook and see a video of you talking to me about product. I should be able to go onto your website and possibly your mobile link and see something on a video about what's going on. Instagram's a perfect place to send me a video marketing message. Do you understand? This is a fabulous new way of talking to people. For those of you who are still embracing endless amounts of text in marketing messages, you're missing the boat. People don't want to read. People do not want to read. Let's go back to the number one. You can see what I'm sharing here with you. It's an easy way to communicate. It's the number one marketing tool you have. 91% of people check their emails daily. That's a North American percentage. That's huge. And you want a better return on your dollar? $44.25 return for $1 spent on email marketing. I'm going to draw your attention to personalizing the emails by using the customer's name. And you can use providers such as Constant Contact, Snap, or MailChimp. I have not worked with MailChimp. I see that again, you'll have case-by-case studies, but that is one that I just respectfully tell you about, but don't work detailed with. I've worked with Snap. I continue to work with Constant Contact. They're actually on our website, Retail Makeover. I think there's a 2-month free trial there for you. Please use it. Of course, there's issues around communicating with email, and we're all sensitive to that. We've all been told spam, 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 spam. This is one thing that when you're using a secure provider, they will at least ensure that they're using the technology to send out information that it doesn't appear like spam. And the thing is, for those of you who go, Barbara, how the heck do I get people to sign up for my email list? What you're going to do is you're going to write me, and I'm going to send you a definite way to do it. There's a right way to do it. You'll train your staff. And right now, if you want people to, let's say you can't wait to write me. Start a contest today. You're going to give away 50, 100 in-store dollars. All we need is you to fill out this ballot, your name, your contact information. We will put your name into the draw, and at the end of the month, we're going to draw for a $50 or $100 gift certificate that you can spend in the store. That is such an, oh my gosh, every single time that idea has been implemented with my clients, it's just come over as gangbusters. You know, and the other way, I tell you, this is interesting. Let's go back to bribery. You tell your staff for every email you're able to get from clients in an ethical way by following the script that I've outlined here for you, which I'll share with you if I hear from you, that I will give you $1. Do you have any idea how many dollar bills you're going to have to start to give out? It's funny what motivates your staff to do the right thing. It gives me great, it makes me laugh on that one. Okay, back to business here. Let's look at what we have to do in social media and embracing that way of marketing to existing customers. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there's no misunderstanding here that where traditional marketing, you threw money at it, you just created a headline and, you know, the reps would do everything else and you never had to think about it. Lots of money, very poor results right now. Social media is different because it doesn't cost a lot of money to communicate marketing messages through this medium, but what it does, it takes time. It takes effort. All right? And all of you go, are you kidding me? You want me to do this on top of everything else I do? What I'm noticing systematically, one client at a time, over the years that I have been a coach, is that we select someone that works for you, or that you know that you can bring into the business, that is focused on doing the social media marketing for you, okay? That makes sense. It's a good use of your money. Here to existing customers, that's the touch point, social media marketing. We're going to post often on Facebook. We're going to post on Pinterest, which is such a fabulous touch point for customers, because women specifically love Pinterest. You should be on there, and if you are, congratulations. Using Instagram is the right thing to do. You should be using that, all right? So this is an interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen, because before it came on, I was doing some research, and this came up as to some of the big changes that we're going to see in 2018 when it comes to retail marketing. And it goes right to this point. You must find out which platform your customer uses or your client uses, all right? And what you're going to add to this when you ask them, so how can we get in touch with you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Pinterest? Are you on Instagram? Or here it is, the emerging way that we will stay in touch with businesses in 2018 is texting. I've been using it myself for a long time. I see it as an efficient way to hear from businesses that I want to do business with. I mean, I do it with my clients all the time. You know, perhaps maybe I'm unusual, but I am accessible to my clients 24/7, and I'm very happy to do that because I'm engaged in their business. So by finding out what platforms your clients use, you can then be more specific about how you're going to send them out information. Beyond sending the information, remember a call to action. All right, beyond the call to action, what is the call to action? Come into the store. Pick up the phone and call us. You're telling them what you need them to do. Go to our website. Here's the link. Click on it. You need to tell, when you are putting a social media information together, you need to tell them you need to tell your customers what you need them to do. And you must remember that you have to have a direct path to purchase. Pick up the phone and call us, come into the store. You know, the product will be waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Go to our website. Do you understand? A direct path to purchase. Link to your promotional calendar. And email your marketing campaign to the social media efforts. Okay? I just want to stop for a moment here because I can see that we're coming up to just I don't know, just about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. I promise you we're going to run over. I'm going to say we're going to run over by at least 15 minutes. Yesterday, I didn't have the heart to reduce this to an hour because there was still so much information to share with you. For those of you that have to leave, you know, I will understand. For the rest of you, stay with me, and lots to share with you. Let's look at your website from the point of view of Christmas sales. Your website could really just be a catalog, okay? So just understand that you've got options. My clients, when I first started, you know, just including all of these new, more marketing tools to them, they were driving themselves crazy. A website can only be a catalog, okay, showing, you know, a curated grouping of your products. Don't worry about it. That is good if that's what you're going to showcase. It could be a click and collect site where I go on, I see a representation of your product, I click on it, and oh my gosh, I can pay for it here. And then it says come to the store and pick it up. Or I can click on it, look at all the information that I need about the product, and then pick up the phone and say, I'd like that product. I'll be in the store to pick it up tomorrow. This whole, you know, concept of click and collect is available to you without a lot of cost. No, do it. And then if you want, I can't imagine you'd have time to do a full-blown e-commerce site before Christmas, but I put that there because that is one of the options that you have. To be done, TBD if you don't have it done for 2018, where the customer shops, they can pay for the item, and you've decided it's time for us to ship. We're ready for that. But perhaps maybe you've done some or part of this, but you have not taken care of something that needs to be refreshed. Your taglines, or what is more traditionally called search engine optimization words. When was the last time you changed those? Here at the office, because we design many websites for retailers, we're changing SEOs very, very regularly because I am obsessed with that. I should be able to type in all kinds of words as it has to do in Google search, as it has to do with your business, and find you because your website has been tagged properly with the search engine words, all right? If you're having problems, if you're at all anxious, please don't hesitate. You now know what Retail Makeover is all about and our commitment to retailers. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't overemphasize this. 2 months ago, I was working in New Jersey for a huge retail company. And we had the opportunity of meeting with the representatives in New York State, Facebook, and Google. And I asked them a lot of questions, but one thing I asked either of them, both of them, I said, what do I tell my retailers that they should be doing? Google said, make sure your retailers are mobile friendly. Their websites are mobile friendly. Google is making, it's very interesting how much control they have. If you are not mobile friendly with your website, you will find that it's going to be more and more difficult on a Google search to find you. They're just not interested. They want you to be fluid onto mobile devices because, ladies and gentlemen, you see this coming. No surprise to you. The mobile device is the king. That's just it. That's the future of technology and digital communication. So you understand what you have to do there. That has to be done ASAP. Don't forget to invite the customer to either come into your store to shop or start shopping on your site and call to reserve a product they love. Again, you're going, Barbara, you're repeating yourself, but you know what? It's worth repeating because you have to get this work done. So very exciting page to have shared with you. Now, what else? Please let customers know that you have an online store. I walk into so many of your stores, I would never guess that you are online. Don't have a clue. So if you sign it on your windows, great. Sign it inside your store and do, peel and stick vinyl on your floor that says, visit us on our website and give the information. A sign behind the cash, signs in the store, make sure your staff talk about it. We have to get that message out. Stores that I'm designing, as a matter of fact, I'm doing 2 in South America right now, where the actual name of the store also has a .com on it on the outside. We're not messing around. Maximco.com, so people know that they can go online to check out the store as well. All right. So link your website to your email newsletters, link your website to your social media posts, keep your website and mobile platforms updated, the overall look, content, and taglines. You can appreciate this when you get my handouts, my PowerPoints that I'm going to send you if I hear from you, because this is how I write, how I think when I do the presentations for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a checklist. It's a checklist for you. Hello, look at this. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Let me explain this to you. In the US, the day after Thanksgiving, no explanation needed, apologies, okay, it's November the 24th. In Canada, the day after Thanksgiving, October the 8th. You know what I've noticed this year? The Canadian retailer is starting to have Black Friday in context with the Canadian Thanksgiving date. I've seen that more and more and more. But over the last several years, we're also embracing the US Black Friday, which happens after the Thanksgiving. Research showed me, I wanted to share with you, that it is the busiest shopping day of the year. You cannot ignore it. And here, this is staggering. 30 to 40% of annual sales are between Black Friday and Christmas. So what's it all about? It's all about the deals. Is that something you want to partake in? Is that how you see putting your business model together? Are you online with click, buy, and ship, or click, buy, and collect, which is very easy to do, ladies and gentlemen, very easy to do. Again, a game that's on this list, in case you missed it from the last one, your website must be mobile friendly. Your social media sites and your store must also reflect Black Friday and Cyber Monday. You have to get in the game or stay in the game if you're there already. Now, I did this research and I'm really excited to share with you Green Monday. Green Monday is the second Monday in December, and it represents the last shipping day, guaranteed shipping day, for orders that are placed online. Yahoo! Because after that, if you turn your marketing comments or broadcasts to say after this date, we're the only game in town, we can assure you because we have this product. You ready with that? Invite people to the store. Green Monday, huge day, and days after that before Christmas, where you are totally in control. I'm going to ask you to think about offering special services to boost sales. You're going to have a Christmas gift catalog. Never thought about it? You've got to have it. I have articles that I've written that clearly help you develop Christmas gift catalogs. Write me, I'll send it to you. It's really easy to do. You're going to offer special services like call us and we'll reserve the product for you. How about offering a service like book an appointment with one of Santa's helpers, huh, or shoppers? We're here to help you with your gift-giving list. Can you imagine being invited to do that and to book a time with one of the Santa shoppers, helpers that work in your store? And this I'm testing right across North America. How about you offer a special service delivery from the store to the customer's home? Now, I came up with that as an idea. You're going to go, how new is that? I promise you, the thing is that these ideas are out there, but for a retailer in Newfoundland to have embraced this and to see the reaction from her clients, because she has a children's store, and how the moms are saying, thank you so much for respecting my time. I'd love to come and shop, but I can't. That you're delivering this to my home is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guess what? We see sales going up because of many things, but this service is being embraced. I wrote this down here because in the research that I was doing and getting ready for you is that the service UPS predicts a record-breaking holiday season, flat out. There is never going to have been a bigger season for them and delivery of products. We need to take this back. You need to provide the convenience of some of your customers to shop with you through delivering product to them, okay? Now, I just recently wrote an article for In-Store magazine about millennials. Are you ready to see the kinds of experiences millennials want to have in your store? If you want to attract them, you know the age group, right? 25 to about 40. And this is huge. Just right off the bat, the research showed me that 67% of millennials sign up for emails. They want to be connected. They're not going, I don't want you to bother me, because, oh my gosh, there's this whole section of consumers that don't get it. They're not interested in information, and they can be a lot of pushback from them. Millennials, no pushback. I want to sign up. What's the deal? Sort of what's in it for me? We promise you experiences. We promise you value and loyalty to you as the consumer because we are connected. Guess what? Attendance to events, attendance to special demonstrations and special experiences means loyalty from the millennial. Have topics of interest that you deliver at the store. You have to look at yourself differently. You're just not you're not selling stuff. You have to, how are we going to create these experiences? How are we going to get, perhaps maybe it's your customers who have millennial children, how are we going to get them in here? Do we have live music? Is there a networking thing that we're focusing in on? Is there free food? Is there free stuff that we're going to give away? We have, back to the thing, creating experiences, creating memorable experiences. Read the article in In-Store magazine. I have lots more information there for you. We're going to wind down very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, but here, create your own economy at Christmas, what you need to be considering. You need to be proactive more than ever. I want to thank all of you, and there's such a huge number that joined us today. You're going to have to embrace everything I've shared with you on all these complex levels. And every part of your business, you need to make things happen. I was thinking, I think you need a rest and you need a good sleep and just get at it. Big thing right now to create your own economy is to sell gift certificates. Could you please make them available and make sure that I as a customer know that you do that? Okay. You have to have a loyalty program. For those of you who are pushing back that whole idea because you're not interested, guess what? I've just written an article for another magazine that I write for in the States, and I talk about loyalty programs, and you're going to write me and I'm going to share with you how to develop a loyalty program. For those of you who are interested in cause marketing, really simple. No donations being given ever again. If a good cause approaches you, say, we're going to work together, but I want to send a letter in conjunction with you that says to your membership, please come and shop in my store. And for every dollar you spend, I will give 10% or 10 cents of what you spend on every dollar back to the cause that you so love. My gosh, this is a great way to get brand new clients that know nothing about you into the store. Great way to support the cause. And this is cause marketing in its truest sense. I think I have an article on that also on my website. Train those staff. Gosh, you have to invest in the training. You have to develop referral programs. I think you can download the whole thing. It's a free e-doc on my website on referral programs and how important they are into your business. You absolutely must engage in email and social media marketing. And here, you should be seeking out partnership and alliances with other businesses that are of like mind and spirit. Share contact information and share causes together and do events together that draw business to both, draw sales to both of your business. So I invite you please to send me an email. And number one, I'm going to send you my podcast, The Essential Strengths of Retail Sales Associates. Very, very vital information. It'll form part of your training. You can see that my email address is retailmakeoverca@gmail.com. And a few thank yous here. The first thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to thank the Canadian Gift Association for inviting me to launch this incredible new service they have, this webinar service, and to say thank you to you, the retailers, for joining us. Again, as a retail business coach, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know what your challenges and concerns are. In 2018, Retail Makeover is looking to develop programs and to develop topics that are of most interest to you. And I invite each and every one of you to stay in touch, please, not only with the Canadian Gift Association, such a valuable association to be part of, but also me here at Retail Makeover. So thank you. My gosh, you have a lot of homework, and I'm so glad that I had this time with you.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for a wonderful presentation. If anybody has any questions, we can open for Q&A now. You can send the question through the question section of your GoToWebinar dashboard. So while that's running, I'd just like to also thank everybody for being on the line today. So Barbara, it looks like we're not having any questions come through at the moment, but if anybody does think of anything, they can always email Barbara directly or send us an email as well. So other than that, I hope everyone has a great day.
Yeah, and I do too.